Hi guys, today we're going to react to VÖKUDRAUMSINS FANGI, which translates to A Prisoner of a Waking Dream by AUÐN, an Icelandic band. First time reaction. This was a Buy Me a Coffee request from Peter G. Thank you, Peter, for this request. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Peter. We appreciate another request. Let's find out what this band's about.
First thing I got from the music, it's a mood setter aimed at conveying a very heavy, serious mood. And the music video resembles early 20th century silent film. I assume we're looking at Iceland? Not sure from which decade in the 20th century, but I don't know.
The first thing that struck me about the music, it's very like morose. It's dark. It's definitely a mood piece and something that grabs your attention straight away and says like, this is serious, something serious going on here. I love this kind of sound. Even at the beginning, just those kind of chords, it draws you in. Without words, it's telling a story. Even if I wasn't looking at the video, which again took me to like all these like desolate kind of places in the beginning, and then it kind of moved into maybe farms or farmers, and now it's to do maybe like with people working at sea. I'm not sure where all the visuals are taking. The title of the song is Prisoner of a Waking Dream, so it doesn't necessarily have to make sense if it's talking about a waking dream, unless it's talking about living this kind of life that make you a prisoner of this waking dream. I'm not sure yet. The word "AUÐN" in Icelandic, I think it means desolation, which really is kind of apt. This band has something about that going for them. So far, I'm intrigued and I'm really enjoying their sound.
Yeah,
really cool.
I agree with the desolation part. It feels like there's a lot of aim to convey a certain set of emotions here. It's grim. The visuals make you think of imminent danger or some tragedy that you should take notice of. It feels like it lays out a lifestyle of hardship as sort of a reality of a people who are trying to survive and provide for themselves. The music gives it either a tragic or a grim texture, like I mentioned. I can talk about the what but I can't put my finger on the why because I have no background. I don't know Icelandic history.
Yeah, and so far there's not much for us to go on, so you can only go on feeling, on what it makes us feel. And it does seem to me like the way I would describe this as it's like a soundtrack for struggle.
Beautiful. The grim feeling just kept getting stronger and stronger, and it just left you with that almost aftertaste of that heavy set of emotions that I think they were aiming to convey. Visually, I think we were looking at 20th century Icelandic economy, basically, how they lived. Because I don't know if they could grow things in their land that people can eat. So they relied on livestock and fishing those barrels. They had like an entire industry of, I assume those were fish in those barrels. That's how they provided for themselves. And when you look at it from the outside, especially when you see it, it's a very old practice that they have, judging by the age of the video. It's like they take you on a journey with them to have a certain sense of what it was like to live in Iceland in in the earlier mid 20th century. I can't really place the era. We get a glimpse of what it was like to be a farmer in Iceland or a fisherman. Very tough life.
Yeah, I think that the visuals were just a choice to represent what feeling they were trying to bring across. Looking at the translation of the lyrics, it's basically 5 lines. It says, misery every day, prisoner of a waking dream, a life which once was, proof of my earthly existence, a memory of that which never was. I think there's subtext here. What I got from the way it was performed, especially the vocals, like there was a lot of heaviness, morose kind of feeling to the music itself, which took me to that soundtrack of A Life of Struggle. But the performance of the singing itself felt like a representation of pain. I just got pain.
Yeah,
I felt the pain. So I think that there might be subtext here that talks not just about these professions that people struggle in a daily life, misery every day, prisoner of a waking dream, just working away every day, working to survive. But then it went into a life which never was, proof of my earthly existence, a memory of that which never was. And it feels like it's kind of harking back to a past that is no longer today. Like today, all these, like, I don't know about Iceland, but in other parts of the world, farmers are dying off because of technology and other things, and things like that are becoming a thing of the past. But it's like a memory of that which never was. Maybe the way we remember the struggle wasn't the same because it was just part of reality. Like today you struggle in other ways. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a representation of a feeling, of an existence, of a certain point in time. It's interesting. It just brought up all these thoughts of, you know, how we remember things may not be how it really was. A memory of that which never was. There's proof of the earthly existence of that life, but it doesn't mean that it was actually exactly like it's been documented, how we would like to remember it, or how people tell those stories. Something along those lines. It's interesting. It's intense. That's what I got out of it. Like I got some intensity there, which took me to those places of trying to decipher the very, very minimalistic lyrics that are here to represent a fantastic musical piece.
Well, I had it in my mind, I don't know how accurate it is, but that farmers have a certain level of solidarity with other farmers because they all know hardship firsthand. So this song, when it addresses people who have no idea what it's like to live their lives like that, it gives them a certain, as I said, a glimpse into a reality that they don't know. But also, if farmers were to look at this music video, they'd probably start to compare what they're seeing to their lives. I can imagine that it's very hard to keep a livestock fed and safe in a not so fitting climate in Iceland. I can imagine if it's hard to grow food for people to eat. I don't know, actually. Maybe it's not hard, but I can imagine it's hard to keep livestock safe. And you see where they aim their industry at, fishing. So they get to feed if there are fish in the sea. If the season is right and they manage to get a good haul or a load of fish every time they go on an expedition, what happens if they don't? What happens if their livestock gets sick or die because of some disaster? They're always under the threat of not being able to survive. I mean, at least from what we can see in the music video, it could easily have been a thriving economy, and I just don't know. But that's what it feels like. I couple that interpretation of mine with the grim feeling that we get from the song, because it has to come from somewhere.
I agree. It's a struggle on both levels. It's a struggle because it's hard work within itself as working it. When there is work there, when there is fish, when the animals are okay and producing whatever you need to produce. But it's a constant battle also with nature, because your crops could die off for whatever reason, because they're infected with something, because the weather one way or another, you don't get enough rain, you get storms, whatever. Your livestock could be hunted down by other animals that are around there. You're not always able to protect them. There could be some disease that's going around. Fish in the sea, there are not as many as there used to be. It's an interesting depiction of something that when you couple the music with the visuals and then with the singing and the lyrics, that take you in all kinds of different directions. So it's just out of some very, very minimalistic representation, it takes your mind into all kinds of areas, and we can be correct in all the directions we went to. We could be completely off. They could be trying to say something else. But to us, that's what it brought across, which is really interesting.
And also there was some emphasis there on possibly floods. In several shots, they showed water flooding over. I don't know what it means if Iceland is prone to floods, because if you have a flood in a place like that, when you have livestock, you will have a disaster, a great loss there. And it will affect everybody. Because they showed it in several occasions in the music video. But it's interesting to think about.
It's a battle with nature on many levels, and that's one of them. The amazing thing about this band is, again, that feeling that they bring with not a hell of a lot. There's just the music, some visual that they give us, a little bit of lyrics, and your mind just starts firing off in all kinds of directions. In some way, it's similar to our introduction to Brutus, where we didn't really get to see anything, just kind of smoke and dust and whatever that was in that first song, and just some minimal lyrics again with very, very intense music. It reminded me of that. An interesting band. I really like this song, and I'm looking forward to potentially hearing more from them. Very, very cool. Really, really enjoyed that. Thank you, Peter G, for an introduction to another awesome band. That was really, really intense, really, really cool. Something that I think you've figured out that we enjoy dissecting. So thank you so much for the ongoing support. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. Really cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks Peter G for the introduction to AUÐN. We enjoyed reacting to the song very much. More like this would be much appreciated. Thank you for your support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you'll get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make it through BuyMeACoffee so we'll get a chance to get to it. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate all the support coming our way, and we're looking forward to more. As always, without you, there would be no show, so keep it coming. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.